We got a problem. Should have checked that to start with. You don't want to be 99% sure. You want to be something like this might happen. Here's the scenario. We have this little apartment. This right here was actually a breezeway. We're turning it into a kitchen. We've got a range. You can see there the range not plugged into anything. We got a problem and we got a not so much of a problem. We got the range here, but then right here behind this door, with the range still in view, we got our panel. So what we need to do is run a wire from here to there, get power over there so we can start cooking on that bad boy. So if we're going to get power over here, from here, first thing we need to do is decide how we're going to run a wire. Well, if we go overhead, that's going to take a lot more footage of wire than if we go down under the floor and come up. In fact, doing that way, it's only about 15, 16 foot of wire. The other way would be about, I don't know, 26, 30 feet of wire. And the wire is expensive. So we have decided we're going to come out of the panel, go down through here, under the floor, come up and put our receptacle over there. Are you with me so far? There's a few things we're going to need. A breaker. This is a Siemens box. So we've got a double pole 50 amp breaker, which will carry that range, or so I've been told. Then we're going to need a receptacle. And what I have here is a surface mount, because that range is temporary and it will be coming out, Lord willing, when we add on to the rest of the house. So what you want to make sure prongs fit what you got, and that looks to be it. We'll be running the wire right up through there. So that means we're going to need a cable connector to go in there, connect that wire to. So we need a receptacle, a breaker, a couple of cable connectors, and we're going to need our wire. This is 6-4 wire. You can see here it's got 4 wires in it. White, red, black, and the ground. I want to thank my buddies at CES, City Electric Supply, for helping me out. If you need anything electrical, my suggestion would be don't go to the big box store, go to your local electric supply. In fact, my suggestion would be go online and find where the nearest City Electric is. I have been to several City Electrics and I have always found them to be extremely helpful. City Electric, this is not a sponsored video. I just told them boys, I said, I'm going to be sure and give you a shout out because City Electric, they'll help you fix you up. All right, you're going to need a few tools. I'm going to need a drill, screwdrivers, utility knife, maybe a few other things. Getting into this, you might can tell here, I've already cut a hole in the drywall because I ran a wire previously and just didn't mud it back up because I thought, you know, something like this might happen again. Something you need to be extremely careful about. You need to know how your house was framed before you start drilling holes. Now I know that there's an outer bed on the back side of that, and I don't want to drill right in the very back. Now as we look down in here, what we're looking at, there's the stud wall, and it is nailed into what's called the bottom plate. We need to go through that bottom plate, and that's going to give us access to the crawl space. We want to be sure that we don't hit any of these other wires when we drill our hole. It looks like we've got plenty of room between this wire and these wires to go right down through there where my little finger is, drill us a hole. Now there's 3 kinds of bits typical that you could use. You could use an auger bit, a hole saw bit, or you could use a butterfly bit. Today we're just going to use a butterfly bit. We need to make a hole. This wire appears to be at least 5/8 of an inch thick. Regardless of the style of bit you choose, you want to get a bit. See, this one's going to give me plenty of room to get that wire in through there. If you try to match it exactly, it's just not going to be as much fun. And you need to caulk that hole with fire stop caulk anyway, so there you go. And we're going to go down through the subfloor. And you probably don't want to be going too fast because the butterfly bit sort of jerks right when it goes through. So just have a good grip on it. And I think we're through. So there's our hole to the crawl space. Okay, so we got that. Now get our hole ready for the wire coming to the range. This is where the work range is sitting, so I know anywhere right in here we're gonna go. And what we're gonna do is come up through the floor. This is hickory. I got no problem patching that once we're done with this receptacle. If I go into the wall and go down through the plate and come up, then I gotta patch drywall, and I gotta make a bend with the wire, and the wire's gonna be longer. So just for temporary purposes, and there's always room under a range to set a receptacle, what I'm going to do is drill a hole in the floor, bring my wire up through there, put the receptacle on the end of that, and we'll be done with it. Now, how do I know where to drill? Excellent question. I know that these floor joists are 16 inches on center. That means I got 14.5 inches between from one joist over to the other joist. Because I can see a nail there and right here, I'm going to pretty well predict that there's probably floor joist right under that stud. Maybe, maybe not. It might be 1.5 inches over one way or the other, but just because I built this, that's probably what I did. So more than likely, if I come over about that far, I might not hit a floor joist. Now, would it be the end of the world if I hit a floor joist when I put that hole through there? No, because if I hit it, then I can just slant one way or the other and go over. And that floor joist is sitting on a 2x6 sill that's on top of the masonry. So I'm not going to weaken it to the point to where it's any problem. Now we just have the fun part of running the wire from here, where we're going to put the receptacle, under the house, up through this, into the bottom of this, onto a breaker. Bingo, bango, we will be done. Don't tell anybody, but I'm going to call in my son to do the crawl space work. He'll love it. Oh, and by the way, I found some straps here. They're about 1940 models. We're going to use those to strap this wire up to the joist. Just hangers, just for a little bit. While he's on his way, I'm going to go ahead and remove the front panel here. I stuck a light down through the hole so my son, who is my assistant on this job, wiggles his way back to this crawl space. Or you got the least amount of headroom back in this corner. What? You see the wire? Yeah. Babe, would you hand me a pair of those vice grips, please? Everything going according to plan? What? Everything going according to plan? Okay. Yeah, come on up, you're right there. Okay, so your ground and your neutral, where they hook up, they're down here lower than your two hots. So I think it's advisable to cut them off like 1 inch shorter than your hots. My understanding is you don't want to be 99% sure. You want to be 100% sure. Okay, now we're going to hit the power off because we're going into the box. And we don't want anything hot. Or try to work as if this thing is still hot. But I do have the main disconnected. So I've made me a little coat hanger snake here. That's going to work. Right. All right. 2 hots, the neutral and the ground. Everything's connected. Just going to turn the breaker on and hope we don't have any fire. Okay, go to your range. See where it says power failure. All right. Cancel. All right. Turn a eye on. High. Heat. Turn the back one on. High heat. Okay. Cut them off. Does your oven work?
Sure it does.
We'll try it. Okay, stop that. Very good. Let's see. Thank you, man. Everything's wired right. Got to get our temporary range labeled. But it's good to go. Well, we got that little job done. I'm glad to have it done too, because you know, it's hard for the wife to cook without a range. She's been after me a few days to get it. She's a patient woman, but I didn't want to put her patience thin. So I'm glad we got that. Hey, there's a lot of little things that you can do, even if you've not been in the trades, that you can do around the home. When it comes to electrical work, my advice would be hire a professional. If it's something small and something you're comfortable with, something your gut's telling you, yeah, I can do this, and you know for 100% sure that you're going to do it right, well, that might be something you look at. But by and large, in most cases, it's probably advantageous for all of us when it comes to electrical work to hire a professional. Thank you for joining me, and good Lord willing, I'll see you in the next one.